Thanks, Kevin. And first, it's so good to see people, real people from America in the People's House in the United States Capitol. For the last 2 years, Speaker Pelosi has shut the Capitol down to the public. And that's something that's so discouraging because we need to have that citizen engagement and to have people here, especially on the eve of the president giving a State of the Union. And look, the State of the Union is in crisis on so many fronts. We've heard about some of these things. Inflation continues to be devastating to families, energy prices. Putin, think about this. President Biden, by shutting American energy down, has made our country more dependent on Russia. He was actually begging Russia to produce more oil. The sad thing is, Putin did. And today, United States, European Union, and the UK combined are sending $700 million a day to Russia to buy their oil every day. That's funding his war against Ukraine. If we opened up American energy, we could supply that need that President Biden shut down. But you just think about it. When people are paying at the pump too much right now in America, but all across Europe, not only is it hurting families, it's funding Putin's war. $700 million a day he makes from the sale of oil. We should shut that down. I want to talk about the mandates and the shutdowns of the economy. And this kind of follows up on what Kevin Hearn was just talking about, Leader McCarthy, what Elise talked about. I think we're going to look back years from now and talk about the devastating damage they did to our kids by shutting schools down. When the science says schools should be open, all the science, not only does it say schools should be open, the science says kids are being damaged long term. Just cognitive learning, facial expressions that you're not picking up with mask mandates. Finally, we're starting to see more and more schools open up and remove the mask mandates, but it's not across the board. I want to feature, I'll start, and I know we're going to talk to small business owners and parents, but we actually have a student here. Where is Addison George? Addison. In Illinois, she had the guts to take on Governor Pritzker and these mandates that are hurting her ability and all of her classmates' ability to learn. She actually stood up. She's been featured on Tucker Carlson and other national shows because people are looking for others that have courage, and especially from our youth, because it's your generation that's the most affected. Millions of kids that aren't getting the learning opportunities that they deserve. I want to hear from Addison. Tell us your story, Addison. Come on up. Yeah.
Okay. So I have been doing remote, well, not been doing remote.
Come on up here so the cameras can see you. Okay, come and turn around.
Come on over here.
Okay, I had to do remote school for over a year, where I was sitting in my room alone at my desk, staring at a computer screen, not retaining any information. I couldn't talk to any of my friends for over a year. And then finally, we were able to go 2 to 3 days a week. My classes had about 6 to 7 people in it. We all had our faces covered, all facing forward, not really allowed to even talk to our friends, 6 feet apart. Like, it was not school. I had everything taken away from me that made high school high school. I couldn't go to dances. My sports were shut down. So I for over a year, I didn't get the high school experience. And then during the summer, the mask mandate was lifted. I could live my life again. And then suddenly, when school started, we were able to go 5 days a week, but now suddenly we had a mask again, even though we didn't during the summer. So we were back to social distancing, wearing a mask, and again, my high school experience was taken away from me. And finally, people in my community got fed up, and they sued for the right to not have to wear a mask. And so now, at least for now, we don't have to wear masks in school, but it took way too long to get there. And so there's studies and data from a lot of states showing that school closures, lockdowns, and masking kids were ineffective strategies to fighting COVID. And the harms of these measures have been immense, especially for kids. But elected officials in my state of Illinois don't seem to care at all. My governor just said on Friday that despite the lawsuit, he still has the right to mask kids whenever he wants. So my question is, how can leaders like you at the federal level work to protect the rights of the individual to ensure that parents are able to make the best decisions involving their kids' education.
First, let's applaud Addison for her courage.
Great job.
And you know, we've been having hearings on this, and one of the leaders here in Congress is not only a doctor. By the way, if you ever wonder if your vote counts, she got elected to Congress in maybe the closest margin in the history of America. 6 votes out of about 400,000. 6 votes made her a member of Congress, and boy, is she making all 6 of those votes count. She has been a phenomenal leader, but she was the public health director of the state of Iowa, and so she speaks with real command because she cares about public health and medical science, not political science, which you experience in Illinois. With that, Marinette Miller-Meeks, tell us what you've been working on.